Final word on just to wrap Chelsea. I need to get your thoughts on Kai Havertz. Because obviously, and this ties a little bit with Lukaku. So if Lukaku is going to be a regular now, there's going back to the beginning of the things he said. Small thing on Lukaku. One of the things, I completely missed this in the interview, but it was pointed out by Christophe Terreur, a very talented Belgian journalist.
Yeah.
He said Lukaku said that he had never scored against a Conte team, so he really wanted to succeed against them. But he did when he was playing for Manchester United, and he scored. He said he never won against a Conte team,
right.
but he did when he was playing for Manchester United, which is another weird thing. I'm starting to wonder about Lukaku's state of mind when he gave that whole interview.
I know.
But that's an aside. We'll leave that speculation one side. But if he's going to play up front, there's been talk about the formation and stuff. Lukaku in a 1, Lukaku in a 2. In some ways, when you play that front triangle of Mount and somebody else and a striker in front. A lot of times, the way it works, it's really a 1+2 up front, or it can be if you do certain movements.
Yeah.
Does it need to be for Lukaku to shine? Like, in other words, is he better off with Mount behind and Werner or Havertz running off him?
I don't know. I still think the front two is better for him. Of course, Lautaro was the perfect partner, and that partnership was great. Chelsea don't have a Lautaro in their squad, and even if they had, I don't think Tuchel would change anything.
Werner can't be your Lautaro?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
But that brings me to Havertz.
Yeah.
So I still feel that other than, and you really see this when you see Havertz in the flesh, even if he's having a bad game, you realize that I think he's really, really special. And you realize why they spent so much money. But then I also feel like it never comes together for him with any kind of consistency.
No, enough,
I kind of feel that I still don't know what his best position is. Personally, I feel vindicated because when they signed him, I said Havertz is a project. Because people told me Havertz is a project.
Yeah.
And he is a project.
Yeah, completely.
We're not going to see Havertz the finished footballer. We haven't seen that yet.
No, we haven't.
We might
seen
see
that
it next year, maybe the year after.
Yeah, and I think Bayer Leverkusen, they were certainly playing a formation that suited him perfectly. And he was the big star, and he was young, and I think this...
Yeah, but the formation basically consisted of, it's mad Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
And let Havertz do whatever he wants because he's so much better than everybody else on the pitch.
And all the service, everything was built around him. This is not the case at Chelsea and won't be the case anytime soon. So find him a position, and maybe you're right. Maybe Tuchel should try the Mount Havertz behind Lukaku. I think he's tried a little bit earlier in the season, but not much. Maybe that's the way. I think you need a lot of mobility to play in those inside tens behind a striker like Lukaku. And I'm not sure he's got that. I'm not sure he's good enough to hold the ball up with his back to goal with a big centre back behind him or big midfielder. He's much better when he's got the goal in front of him, as you saw with the goal that he scored against Spurs and the run that he made for the Alonso pass. That's perfect. I think he struggled more when he's got the goal behind him. Which is something that Lautaro is very good at, for example, to play with Lukaku. So
is Pulisic a better option? I mean, he's obviously also has the back to goal issues because of the way he's built.
Similar one.
But he's a very technically sharp player. He's faster, obviously.
Yeah, the mobility is key.
And he's also, for a guy who's supposedly a superstar, he doesn't have the superstar mentality in terms of he's very much a team player. I mean, I think this is the thing. Lukaku. I mean, we always say this, great players have to know when to take charge and when to make it about themselves and take responsibility and when to be team players. I feel Lukaku and Pulisic, both of them, their predisposition is very much to work for the team, more so than some other players.
Yeah, definitely.
Could that be a better option than Werner and Lukaku?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not keen on the Werner-Lukaku partnership at all. And I like Pulisic. You saw the goal against Liverpool, that run he made, inside was perfect. I don't think Kai Havertz makes those runs. I mean, I know he scored.
He'll score differently.
Yeah, exactly. I can see. In a way, I think Tuchel has too many options, and still hasn't found the right one. What the right trio is up front, and I hope for Chelsea, and I think he needs to find it quickly, to get as much from it as possible. So it's good to rotate and change and do this and do that, but I think if he could be convinced with a set front three, that'd be better. And I think Pulisic, Mount and Lukaku could be that one.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.